Cows are ready to be moved, and they see me working on the fence. And interestingly enough, I had already recorded for a little while this morning and realized that I wasn't really recording at all. And I guess that goes on par with how I've been feeling this morning. I just didn't sleep good last night. I don't know if I slept wrong or what, but I woke up with a headache, and I haven't had a true headache since I've started my sleep treatments. So maybe just a little under the weather. Hey Dot, no. Just a little under the weather this morning. Didn't know we weren't going to get Millie today, first thing, until we woke up this morning. So just not 100% and didn't have all my bearings straight. So I'm getting a little bit of a late start. It's a beautiful June day for me. It's only going to be about 64 degrees here. That's a beautiful June day. Now next week, they're calling for, what's going on here? So maybe we got all the technical difficulties out of the way. I don't know. But next week, it's supposed to be, well, in the surrounding area, they're saying it's going to be like 92, 93 degrees. My forecast for here says it's going to only be like 83. So are we going to get some benefit from the mountains? Is it going to be super hot? I don't like those 90-degree days. For me personally, maybe some other things, maybe gardens and things like a little heat every now and then. Nah, not me. I mean, I realize it's got to be different. You can't have all this overkill. What is going on here? So my gimbal was out of balance. Had to go rebalance it. When it fell over, it must have jammed the balance off. So hopefully we've got all that fixed. I'm not getting anything done. Anyway, cows are needing moved. I just watched a video that said Greg Judy said the sugars are at their highest at about 1 in the afternoon. I don't think it's going to get hot enough to draw anything up today anyway, but I'm going to be on target with that by the time I get everything done. That's not really the way I had it planned. It's just one of those days. There's so many mockingbirds this year. I just can't figure, and there's a kestrel, and I can't figure if that kestrel is nesting in my house or where that thing is at. I should set a ladder up and see. Any of you that watched Clarkson's Farm on the Amazon Prime saw that they were kind of bemoaning the cost of fertilizer. And that was a result of the war in Ukraine. And it was affecting, especially, in Europe and in Great Britain where they were, it was affecting their ability to do the things they wanted to do. They had to change their decision-making process. Now that's an interesting dynamic there. She adopted a second calf, so she's feeding 2 calves for the good or bad. She must be coming in heat because the bull's all over her trying to push these calves away. So he's chasing her. The calves are still suckling on her. That little guy right there at the back end, that's Milk Dud, and he belongs to number 7. Where's number 7? Is that you right there, number 7? I think that's number 7 right there. Zoom in on her proper. Can't tell if that's 7 or 9. One of those 2 right there is number 7. Flip your ear back around here, girl. There's number 9, which means that's number 7. That's Milk Dud's mom right there. She's not doing the best job for him. So he's officially adopted into Summer's family. So Summer's feeding her calf and Milk Dud. And the bull, trying to get him a girlfriend, trying to get a date for today. So, all kinds of craziness going on. I'm gonna have to run to the back side of the property to get another piece of fence so I can put my divider fence up and give them 2 days worth of action here. So I don't want to crisscross the rolls and things like that. So get our divider fence, put it up across here. We better get us a post. I think there's a post out there. Put our divider fence up and then get our other roll. We'll turn the cows in, get our other roll it out. Well, there the clouds are breaking a little bit. Some blue skies coming in behind us there. So maybe we haven't felt the crunch maybe so hard here in America over that Ukraine war deal, but they're claiming people in other countries have. I know fertilizer costs have changed here in the U.S. Maybe, I don't know about 2024, but 23 and 22 for sure, those fertilizer costs changed. It cost people more to put their fertilizer down. Now, the UN claimed that in 2022, food prices could cause 13 million people to be undernourished because of the Ukraine war, the war between Ukraine and Russia. That those prices could jump from, I think, 8 to 22% or something like that, but 13 million people would be undernourished because of that. And then they said in 2023 that could jump to 17 million. Now, you know, there are some wheat exports and there is some evidence that some food shortages have occurred. But see, here's the problem. The media would have us believe that everybody's starving to death. And that's the reports that we get. Food prices did see an initial bump right after the invasion because everybody was scared to death. Well, maybe scared to death, but everybody was, you know, hedging their bets that there's going to be this big shortage of grain and shortage of wheat and things coming out of that area. So initially prices did jump, but by that fall, by that winter, by December, those prices had stabilized themselves back to pre-war time. So it wasn't the war that was affecting it. Interestingly enough, the prices bumped right after the invasion. They stabilized to pre-war levels by December of 22, but not back to pre-COVID levels. So it's not the war causing any kind of shortage in food or shortage in distribution or anything like that, but COVID and pre-COVID, the nonsense that has happened since COVID is what's keeping these prices high. In America, we have this incredible inflation because of all the government programs that were put out, all this free money that was handed out because of COVID. So I think a lot of people have recognized that, during 2020, there was this big interest in growing your own food or supplying your own food. And maybe some of it has stuck, but probably a lot of it has fell by the wayside. I think Justin Roach talked about the viewership on his account, just went crazy in 2020 and has since tapered off to where not as many people are watching his content because there's not as much interest in being a homesteader or being maybe there's more interest in being a homesteader, but maybe there's not quite as many people trying to learn how to grow their own food. And I didn't do the research, but I think probably that's true across the board, that many people are, kind of getting comfortable and complacent again. And who knows what tomorrow brings. But I would say because of the things we saw, this scare tactics, the hysteria surrounding Ukraine. Now, there is a legitimate threat there. It could become something that would cause a great impact, but it just hasn't. The evidence is just not there that it's done that. COVID, on the other hand, did cause that trouble. We shut the whole world down for a period of time. And now Melissa and I bought that high tunnel, which is now a barn, in 2025. So we've been at this better than 20 years trying to grow crops and plasticulture, and we've been to tons of conferences and things like this. And I mean, for about a 10-year span or 12-year span or so, I mean, we were rocking, dude. We were growing stuff, and we were in the mix. You see the garden, we were growing mums. I mean, we had all kind of things going on. And then we just kind of got caught up in life and busy and growing kids and, busy with the kids. And we just got away from it. And now it seems like we're behind. We're like trying to catch up on everything, trying to fix everything we messed up. There's a big pile of garbage right there that's been there for years. I got my trailer ready to load it up. We've got this garden tilled. Our other high tunnel is full of junk. So we've got to get it cleaned out so we can grow in it again. And we've just got so many big plans that we had all this. And I've just come to a different point in my life where I just want to do these things. I want to move my cows. I get enjoyment out of hearing my cows eat grass. I want to learn how to garden like my wife does. My wife's a gardener, but I want to learn how to garden like she does. And I want to, see these other people gardening, and my daughter is really talented with these things. So, and being able to feed our family, trying to move away from all this processed food and fast foods and feed our family. Raw milk just become legal here in West Virginia. I mean, we could have had a cow anytime we wanted. It's a lifestyle thing. I don't know if our lifestyle lends us to being able to have a cow, but we could have a cow. We could sell milk. We could make butter and cheese right here at the property now. So there's all kinds of opportunities for us, and we were there. We were already there, and we just didn't stay there. We just got out of the. We weren't so in tune with the mindset. YouTube has helped us tune into that, to be able to connect with other people. Back then, it was only us. We were the only ones that were crazy like this. We read a Joel Salatin book. Melissa read a Joel Salatin book, and that kicked us off on this way back in like 2001, 2. That tunnel was built in 25-ish. Wish we would have stayed there, but alas, we can only go through today and look forward to tomorrow. I think that's why people with COVID, with the Ukraine war, with inflation, and just that American idea of independence, we can own our own land. I have 8 acres here. I could do a lot with this 8 acres, especially if I cut out a lot of the other nonsense in my life. Why do I move cows? Because it's good for the ground. It's good for the cows. It's responsible stewardship. I've always been one of those people that kind of scoffed at like organic this or organic that. The idea, I thought it was, for hippie liberals and things like that. But the more wisdom you gain and the more you look into what your food is, the more natural you want that to be. I try not to give my cows any kind of medications, pretty much zero. If we see they have a problem, we'll delouse them or worm them. I'm not just gonna up and lose animals just for the sake of pride and foolishness. But by rotating them like this, we don't have health issues. We had pink eye last year, and I think that's because we had an animal that came from a different property, a different herd. Our animals with proper minerals and moving them around like this, we just don't have pink eye problems. So it'll be interesting to see, do we have any issues this year? But so I just never did think organic was a thing. But when you look around, and I don't want to be dependent on fertilizer. Look at the fertilizer that I'm creating right here. I mean, they're dropping tons and tons of fertilizer. I have a building out there that I need to get cleaned out. That building right there where the bull was, and well, other animals were in there too, but it's full of compostable material that I can use as fertilizer. You have seen how my grass grows differently, and we're stretching our limits this year, but this will come back up lush. And this was that overwintering pen where I sacrificed, and other than just that small area down there where we fed a high concentration of hay, but I can tell you right now, we have built that up. That is 10 inches deeper than it was previously. The gate used to roll smoothly out of there. Now that is kind of a ledge there where we've added 10 inches of soil into that. We've added 10 inches of organic material that's already starting to sprout. I didn't seed it. I could have seeded it. I could have done some things to it to help it grow. I suspect by the end of the summer that thing will be booming. But we just abused this, but look at it coming back. The pugging is disappearing. The grass is growing. We could force them to eat this grass down like a lawnmower. I don't want to do that. I'm going to move them into this next pen, and it is my quote unquote yard. So maybe we'll let them eat that down a little bit. And it's got some weeds in it, so I want them to abuse it a little more. And you can customize this grazing. Is such a great opportunity. You can custom graze. This needs to be hit harder. We need to cut them down a little bit here, give them more here. Don't hit this. We can do whatever we want. Look at Bea just enjoying that. And she's gonna have a blast when I turn her in on this fresh grass. Somebody must put something there you liked or something. All right, girls, you ready? Let's do this. Mokel! 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 Let's go, Kale! Mokel! 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 Mokel, you show them the way, 26. You coming, Summer? Mokel! Mokel! There we go. Get them on in there. CG, where are you going? You're on the wrong side. Mokel! Mokel! You guys are going to have to get out away a little bit there. That's what it's all about right there. Good grazing animals. They just know the plan and they're ready to move on. So am I. Got a lot of work left to do today. Got to get this fixed up before they tear stuff down, get the juice turned on. I guess the main point is we got all these global conflicts and pandemics and things that happen. And not all of us can be self-sufficient. Not all of us can have this much land available to us, but what can we do? Can we grow some tomatoes on our porch? Can we raise a few chickens in our backyard? What can we do to separate ourselves from the world? What can we do to have healthier food? That's the other thing. Super obese. I don't know if I'm obese. I'd have to get that checked out to find out if I'm in the obese category, but obesity is a big problem. And I'm not small by any stretch. I've had too many trips to the dinner table. Books I've read, things I've seen, places I've been tell me that there are better ways. There's better ways to treat the ground. There's better ways to treat our body. There's better ways to be responsible citizens in this world and be ready to combat these challenges that come our way. God gave us this wonderful place. Look at these blue skies. You can tell it's almost summer. The skies change color. We get this super awesome blue. What an incredible day. What an incredible day. We are so blessed. God blessed me with this 8 acres, and I moan and groan and just complain about things that don't go my way, and my camera's not working properly. But he's blessed me with good health. These cows, my chickens, this land that I get to look at every day. He's given me some incredible blessings. I shouldn't take those things for granted. I should appreciate them and use them and manage them. Be a good steward to what God has given me. Nothing lately has been so much fun as to see my chickens out on grass. And we haven't even been able to move them the way we really want to because we're just not set up completely. But it is such a blessing to see them out in that free ranging environment. We always enjoyed seeing them in the chicken tractors also, but to have a little shelter and have that electro net up, and that is such a blast, so much fun. Hey, look, y'all have a good day. What's the cow say? What's the cow say? Moo.